Pittsburgh Steelers. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And off we go from Oakland. A first carry now for Marshawn Lynch. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On the handoff, Lynch. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
From midfield, here's Carr, escaping the pressure right. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. First down Raiders, the former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr.
And Derek Carr just keeps improving. He can be dangerous not just inside the pocket, but as we see here, outside of it as well.
Kid born in California, played his high school ball in Texas, had quarterback written all over it. Now a handoff to Richard. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Space to run past the 20. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
How about the defense not hanging their heads from the previous play where they were beat for a big run, came back on the very next down and made a play defensively that was to their credit.
Handoff comes to Lynch. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Carr going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Nelson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. First carry for James Conner. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
On 3rd down, that's Bell, and he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Let's go. Hurry up, let's go. Bell.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 61 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Oh, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there, and this will stay a 6-point ball game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Carr now on first down. They set up the screen to Lynch. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Lynch. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's Johnny Townsend to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at about the 14. You can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Eli Rogers, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Here we go.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
This is Bell, and here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Right back to him on 1st down. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Dances by him. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
1st down, the run with Lynch. Lynch busting free. He's got daylight. He's at the 50. 30. 20. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marshawn Lynch, 81 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again,
and again.
and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Nugent hits the extra point, and it's now 13-7. Now it's Nugent out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This one complete, right side to McDonald. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does where a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll run it with Bell, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Carr to throw on second down. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Carr. It's caught. Nelson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And Nugent puts it through, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Back out Nugent now after the field goal as he'll send it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
All right, let's go get it now, all right? Four down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to work. And he's brought down after a good game. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go, let's go.
Now a first down carry by Bell. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he finds McDonald. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is Bell on the dump off. No gain, and it's 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Vance McDonald from 17 yards out. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. Here comes Nelson. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Lynch. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. On the give, this is Lynch. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Here we go. Hey, Raider 2.
Carr gives to Richard. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in the East Bay. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Lynch running the counter. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now Carr, got to have this one. And Cook has it left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
They'll run again with Lynch. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down.
Well, they had that one snipped up. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Nugent puts it through, and that'll move them back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll pitch it out to Bell. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And McDonald here over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Let's go, let's go.
Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trusting his quarterback and trusting his offense.
Still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Hey, you got three. Three down. Hey, here we go.
A run here with Lynch. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys?
And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the 4th quarter. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Now it's Nugent out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He finds an opening past the 40. Wide open receiver complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Twisting away. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
All right, let's go get it now, all right?
They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock with Lynch. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long from Oakland.